You don't feel a revolution while it's happening. You feel it later. And when the old rules stop making sense and the new ones feel obvious in hindsight. Now that's where we are right now. Somewhere between your daily scroll and your next direct deposit, you stopped believing in the story that they fed you. The one that says, work hard, save money, climb the ladder, and retire rich. Now you don't know when it happened, but you know something's off. Fiat feels fake, success feels rigged, and freedom feels distant. And here, in that quiet void of belief, something else is rising. Now not a stock, not a guru, not another fiat fantasy, but a unit, a number so small that most people laugh at it, and it's called a Satoshi, the smallest unit of a Bitcoin. But here's what they don't see and what you're about to understand. In the next decades, Satoshi millionaires will become the new 1%. And those who laughed, well, will be working for the ones who stacked. Now, if you haven't stacked your first million Satoshis as of yet, well, I have something that should help you out. Now, this is completely free, and what I'll do is link this down in the description. Now, this is one of my playbooks, and it's called The Stacker. Now, this is also part of a series, so once you're on this page, if you want to check that out as well, there's a link just here. See, you've been taught to see wealth in big numbers. 6 figures, 7 figures, millionaire, billionaire, and ultra high net worth. But in a world where the money melts, those figures don't mean what they used to. Now, $1 million today can't buy you what it could 20 years ago. It can barely buy a decent home in a decent city. And by the time most people get there, well, they're already out of time. But here's the twist. While everyone's chasing inflated symbols of status, the people who understand what's coming are stacking something very different. They're stacking Satoshis, quietly, patiently, and with conviction. Because they know, in a world where fiat dies and trust erodes, scarcity always wins. And there's nothing scarcer than Bitcoin. So, let's break this down. Now, I've actually said this a million times in lots of different videos, but I really want to drill this in. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, and that's it, not one more. And if you do the math, that means there are 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis in total. Now, that sounds like a big number until you zoom in, because when you divide that across 8 billion people, you get 262,500 sats per person, and that's it. So if Bitcoin becomes the global base layer of money, and we're actually headed there, the average person's fair share is less than 300,000 Satoshis. So what happens if you hold 1 million of them? Well, you'll be holding 4 times the global average. So that means you're in rare territory. And you're not just early, you're in the top few percent of all future Bitcoin holders. Now, what happens when that 1 million Satoshis, currently worth $1,000, give or take, becomes more scarce than beachfront real estate? Well, you become part of the new elite. Now, not because of status, but because of scarcity. So, let's go ahead and play this forward. In the fiat world, a millionaire is someone who holds $1 million worth of a melting currency. Now, that's already becoming a joke. But imagine a future where 1 Bitcoin is worth $10 million. Well, that puts 1 Satoshi at 10 cents, meaning your 1 million sats is worth $100,000. But now, let's keep going. If 1 Bitcoin is worth $20 million, your 1 million Satoshis is now worth $200,000. And if 1 Bitcoin is worth $100 million, well, you're now sitting on a full $1 million for your 1 million Satoshis. Now, not in inflating dollars, but in unprintable, censorship-resistant monetary truth. And unlike fiat millionaires, whose wealth lives on balance sheets and brokerage accounts, your wealth lives on a string of encrypted words only you can access. No permission, no middlemen, no gatekeepers. And that's what the world doesn't understand yet. A Satoshi millionaire isn't just someone with money, there's someone with power. So, let me go ahead and tell you something pretty crazy. There are already people stacking 10,000 Satoshis every single day. Now, that's roughly only $10 a day. Now, they don't look rich, they don't drive flashy cars, they're not on the Forbes list, but they understand what's happening, and they're front-running a once-in-a-civilization monetary reset. And in 10 years, well, these are the people whose kids will go to schools that don't teach fiat lies, whose families will never beg banks for loans, and whose lives will never be lived on someone else's calendar. Now, they won't be millionaires in the way that we define them today. They'll be something rarer, and that's sovereign. See, here's the truth that no one told you. The real race is not to become a fiat millionaire, it's to exit the system before it finishes collapsing. Now, it's not about stacking money, it's about stacking escape velocity. And 1 million sats is enough to change the trajectory of your life, not because of the number, but because of what it means. You understand what's coming, you're front-running the collapse, and you're opting out with conviction. And when that really hits, well, you don't see Satoshis as small units anymore. You see them as monetary DNA for the new economy. See, let me go ahead and give you a new framework. Most people are trying to stack dollars to buy security later. But you should be stacking Satoshis to own sovereignty sooner. Now here's the progression. 1 million sats equals escape velocity. 3 million sats equals leverage. Now 5 million sats equals sovereignty. And 10 million sats, well, that equals dynasty. Now the goal isn't to get rich. The goal is to get unreachable. Because when they control the money, they control the game. But when you control the keys, the Satoshis, the protocol, well, they can't touch you. Now, you don't need their bailouts, you don't need their rules, and you don't need to ask. So, let's go ahead and be honest. The millionaire badge used to mean something, but today, well, today it's just marketing. You can have $1 million in the bank and still be broke in spirit, still be dependent, still be taxable, printable, and trackable. Now that's not wealth, that's window dressing. Now real wealth is this: non-inflatable, self-custodied, permissionless, and transferable across time, space, and state borders. Now that's exactly what 1 million Satoshis can become. Now it's not a flex, but it's a firewall. See, here's the truth. If you're not stacking now, you're choosing to stay in the game that's already collapsing. Because in a world of hyperinflation, CBDCs, wealth taxes, surveillance finance, and quiet theft via policy, there is no safe anymore. There's only sovereign or not. And your 1 million Satoshis, well, it's not just a number, it's your vote, your protest, your permission slip to exit, and proof that you saw the shift before the world caught up. So here's the real question. When the new economy rises, will you still be chasing paper, or will you be sitting quietly, holding the keys, watching the old system dissolve? So stack sats, not for greed, but for clarity, for leverage, for life outside the cage. Because when this flipping finishes, the new 1% won't be made of fiat millionaires, they'll be the Satoshi millionaires who saw it coming and moved early. Now, one last time, if you want to come and check this out, I am going to link it down in the description below. And remember, it's also completely free. Now, if you've made it this far and if you're not too sure what to watch next, well, I have this playlist just here, which you can go ahead and binge watch if you enjoy watching my content, or if you want a shorter little video, you can watch this one just here, which is recommended to you by YouTube.